Does anybody have any more questions? None. Member Paltin.
Thank you. So for the unstable structures, the ones with the red or yellow placard, would those qualify to be removed as part of the debris removal?
Is that a Director Molina?
Yes, they would.
And then is Lahaina Crossroads one of those, or have we not reached it yet?
Yeah, I don't know. I can check. We have a GIS layer map that has shown the areas that have been designated and inspected. So I can get back to you about that, Member Paltin.
Cool. And then like the Kaya Ulu o Kupuohi, there's only looks like the elevator shaft and maybe like the stairs or something. Would that be qualify for debris removal? Because it's only pieces that aren't going to be used. And then if the debris, like I think Fleetwoods was like built by like World War II or something, kind of like real strong structure, and it's not livable or usable as a commercial establishment, would they knock that down if the structure is structurally integrity?
Thank you. So FEMA is building a team with structural engineers to assist for any properties that do or were part of the National Historic Register landmark district. So that's one of the buildings that's being assessed by structural engineers to determine if preservation is possible.
Oh, what about the office by the senior center, Kaunoa Senior Center, that was
the mill office, the old Pioneer Mill office is also on that list. Yeah.
Courthouse?
Courthouse, yep. So actually, for anybody that's interested, Lahaina Restoration Foundation had done a mobile app. It's called Lahaina Historic Trail. You can actually see all of the sites that were contributing structures to the National Register District. All of those have been marked and would be part of the structural assessment.
So have some of those just burnt all the way to the ground, but there's some of them that are partially still standing and they're part of the historic register. How do those proceed?
Yes, so there's elements of some that are still standing, some are, there's nothing left. In some cases, the thing that made them eligible is below ground as well, with burial preserves, etc. So for all of those, they would receive the first cultural assessment and documentation to determine potentials for preservation, to identify clear areas that needed to be cordoned off so they're not impacted during debris removal.
And then if a portion of your home burnt, does it need to meet a percentage to be eligible? Like what if, like one room burned down or something like that?
So, previous to this fire event, if there was more than one wall standing, it would not have been eligible for the debris removal program. Under the letter of approval, it might be eligible depending on the determination by Maui County for the whole structure.
Okay. And then in terms of debris removal and the special management area, is there any specific steps being taken different in the special management area or the historic district than for the regular areas that are not SMA or historic?
Yeah, so I think FEMA is currently working to see if there are any nonprofit or NGO organizations that might be able to shore up prior to debris removal, but we will have probably separate contract mechanisms to do cleanup when we can't take the whole structure and how we would address that. So that will be a separate part of the debris process.
Like dust fence along the coast or something like that?
Correct.
And then when you were talking about the trees that might not live 5 years or something like that, would it be a contract under the commercial for the trees on the commercial, public for the trees on the public, and residential for trees on the residential, or is there a specific tree contract?
So the assessment monitoring contract will also do the tree assessment to see which ones, and basically they barcode each of those trees saying it's an eligible hazard tree under the FEMA program. And then depending on the type of property, that contractor would do the debris removal or the tree removal.
And have the Kumu'ulu trees been marked, and will people be let known if any of those are scheduled for removal?
So we're going to work with Maui County to figure out which trees will be marked for preservation, and then the team will make a determination whether or not they can be saved.
Will the public be let know about the ulu trees?
Thank you. I was texting John Smith to find out because I know his arborist has been out there multiple times to determine if there's mechanisms to save, to encourage saving some of the trees that are out there. So ideally what we'll do is we'll get a map and identify everything that's been considered, primarily what's on government property or has been identified as an exceptional tree. I know that those would be top of the list. If there's others that the community wants to communicate up to us in terms of importance, we're happy to document that as well.
Okay, and then
Wait, tomorrow. Let's ask Alice if she could have her turn.
Sure.